Holding yourself back is more common than ever. You're not stupid, you're not lazy, you're not unreliable. You just keep getting in your own way. And if you don't fix this, it won't just cost you progress, it will cost you the life you know you could live. So listen very carefully to what I'm about to say, because I'm going to show you the real reason why you keep holding yourself back and how to break that pattern. If you clicked on this video, you probably recognize this situation from your own life. You know what's right, what you should do, but you still do the wrong thing anyway. For example, it's late in the evening, you know you should sleep, but you still pull out your phone and start scrolling late into the night. And you don't even know why, because consciously, of course you know, okay, that's the wrong thing, but somehow you still do the wrong thing. Many people think it's probably a willpower problem, something about discipline. But in reality, often it's not. It's an identity problem. Now I know this might seem a bit abstract, but hear me out. Because understanding this can be the thing that gives you the power to actually break the cycle of your bad habits. So what even is identity? Your identity is the story you tell yourself about yourself. And on one hand, it can be the thing that is holding you back the most, but on the other hand, it can also be your unfair advantage that makes you do the right thing without even thinking about it. Because the thing is, your identity determines who you are. If you think you're unhealthy or unathletic, you will act that way. If you think of yourself as an athlete, of course, going to the gym or doing sports will be normal for you, because you're an athlete, that's just what you do. But here's the thing, your identity isn't just there for no reason, it slowly developed over time. Because the actions you take determine your identity. If you live healthy, if you go to the gym, if you do sports for 10 years, of course, then you'll think of yourself as an athlete. And this is the identity loop. Your identity, the story you tell yourself about yourself, determines what you do, your actions, and your actions determine your identity. So it's a reinforcing loop. If you think you're healthy, you act healthy, so you think more of yourself as an healthy person. But it also works the other way around. You think you're unhealthy, so you act unhealthy. And because your actions show that you act unhealthy, of course you think, okay, I'm unhealthy. And it's this downward spiral. So identity is a reinforcing loop. It can either be an upward spiral or a downward spiral. That's why your identity determines who you become. And now if you have an identity of someone who's maybe unhealthy or unproductive, of course you keep holding yourself back and progress feels impossible because it's not natural for you. If you think you're unhealthy, but you push yourself to do 1 hour runs every day, of course this will feel not like you. And pretty fast you will stop to do it. But the good news are, it's changeable. You can change your identity. You just have to find an entry point into this identity loop. And the easiest way to do that is through small actions. Because your actions show you, because your identity, because if you act healthy, your identity will also follow. And if your identity followed, then acting healthy won't feel unnatural anymore, but just becomes the thing you do anyways. So you have to start with really, really small actions, no matter how small they are, but you have to do them consistently. That's the most important point. Because if you do 2 hour runs every day for a week, but then stop, this won't really change anything. What would change something is if you only do 10-minute walks, but do that 3 times a week for the next year. This will really change your identity and will make the actions you have to take to reinforce that identity way easier and, most important, just natural. Maybe you've also heard the advice somewhere that you should make your bed in the morning. And this will get you on the right path. And that's actually because of what we are talking about. Even if it's a really, really, really small action, it shows yourself that you have some amount of control over your life. And if you're someone who didn't have that before, this shows you, okay, you have that control and reinforces that identity, and taking more actions will become easier. Every action you take is a vote for your identity. So if you act healthy 60% of the time, for example, then you will think of yourself as a healthy person. So you don't have to be perfect, you just have to act enough like the person who you want to become, and sooner or later you will become that person. I hope this video helped you, and I hope you take action on this, because, like I said, it doesn't have to be big. It just has to be consistent. And then also the bigger tasks will become easier and more natural for you. And don't overthink it. Of course, at first it will feel unnatural. That's just in the nature of this, because you're acting like someone who you don't think you are yet. And then of course it won't feel like you. But if you just act often enough like this, those actions will become way, way easier and will just feel natural to you. So I wish you a nice day, and bye.